So reporters, as I'm sure you've heard by now, Vanderpump Rules stars Tom Schwartz and Katie Maloney-Schwartz have officially decided to part ways. They both released statements on Instagram confirming their decision. Tom says that it was Katie's decision, in which case, hallelujah, Katie, congratulations to you for finally waking up. And let's just get into the possible reasons why they're breaking up after 12 years together. The list is a little long, you guys, okay? So let's start at the top. The obvious. Tom's constant cheating. Tom had been cheating on Katie since before they got married. It did not stop after they got married, so I'm sure that probably wore her down after a bit. Tom very clearly has, you know, what some might consider to be issues with alcohol. He gets so drunk often on the show that, for instance, once when they were on vacation, he woke up in another woman's villa. It's convenient, right? He gets so drunk, he gets lost. And he's not lost in some random man's villa. He's lost in some random hot girl's villa. Point 2 and point 1 wrapped up into one. Then he comes back with the crew and everything like that. And then there was another instance of this, I think this year or last year, where he got really drunk, slept out somewhere else, and you know, it's been alleged that he cheated yet again. And I think that was the same night, and this is point 3, where on the show they talked about how he kicked down the door to their home because he was out all night, pissed drunk, and when he came home, Katie had locked him out. And so he had to kick down that door to get in. That's not normal, you guys. That is absolutely not normal. And then on the show, they also got into their fertility issues, which turned out to be mainly on Tom's part. The fertility specialist was telling Tom that he needed to stop drinking so much. He needed to stop taking such hot showers, no jacuzzis and stuff like that, in order to kind of regulate his sperm. His sperm was misshapen, as she had said, and Tom didn't do any of that. You know, and she also said, don't do any drugs. And what did Tom do? After, you know, these serious conversations about him and Katie wanting to have kids together, they both need to put effort. Katie was doing her part. The doctor gave him a list of everything he should not be doing, and he did every single one of those things. Shortly thereafter, he did mushrooms with Tom Sandoval. He was drinking a lot with all of his friends. He was still in jacuzzis and stuff. He's still taking hot showers. So it was very obvious that he was not serious about having a kid with her. And at their ages, Tom is like 38, he's a sneeze away from 40, Katie is 35. Neither of them have time to waste in this department. So again, I'm really happy that Katie woke up and said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And you know, don't be surprised if she pops up in like 2 years or less, pregnant and remarried, you know, or engaged or in a long-term relationship at that point with somebody a lot more stable and a lot more mature. And so on this point, Katie had been posting for quite a while now, like lyrics from songs talking about how somebody in the relationship was not serious about having kids with somebody else. So to me, that seems like the major deal breaker. And not only that, I think that Katie's actually lucky that it did not pan out with Tom having kids with him, because that guy can very clearly barely even take care of himself. Like, he is like a giant child on the show, to the point where it's like, is he okay? Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, she's probably thinking about it more and more and realizing, is it even a good idea to have kids with somebody this childish and irresponsible? The answer is no. So I'm happy for her in that respect. She can move on with somebody a lot more serious, mature, and, you know, ready for the responsibility, who actually wants the responsibility as well. No point in forcing fatherhood on anybody, you guys. So Katie hasn't been 100% innocent in this relationship, you guys. You know, she has done her fair share of very nasty things to Tom as well. So she very often on Vanderpump Rules would make fun of his penis. She would make fun of its size. She would make fun of its functionality. She says that it barely worked or whatever. You know, all sorts of different things on very many episodes. So I'm sure that wore Tom down on his own side as well. You know, and Tom was always throwing her under the bus when it came to the other Tom, who hates her, and anybody else who had a beef with her. So all of this over time, it was just a very, very, very toxic relationship at the end of the day that needed to end at some point. To me, it's sad that it went on for 12 years, you know, because that's a lot of stuff to put up with on both ends. But on the good and happy end, it's finally done, and they can both move on to greener, healthier pastures. Guys, there are so many possibilities as to why, these people ultimately decided to call it quits, so I'm curious to know what your theories are at the end of the day. And you know what else I think it is? I've got to add, people always say that breakups are contagious. So if other people in your circle are going through breakups, and in Katie's circle, there was Raquel, who's finally leaving James after a couple of years, like 6 years or so. There was Lala and Randall breaking up after about 3-4 years. I think she's finally realizing that it is possible, and that she's got like a tribe of single girlfriends who can help her through this, and she can help them through their singlehood as well, and they'll all just navigate that together. With all of that being said, this to me means that it's time for another season, a 10th season of Vanderpump Rules. This 10th season is going to be so good, with all of them going through such dramatic changes in their lives, right? Raquel, single for the first time since we met her. Katie, single for the first time since we met her. Like, this is insane, you guys. And then Lala and Randall breaking up. James has a new girlfriend that he's already debuted on Instagram. Lala can't stop talking crap about Randall, so that's going to be interesting on that side. And then Katie, what is Tequila Katie? What is single Katie going to be like? Single Tequila Katie. We got to know. We got to see all of this. So what do you think ultimately was the straw that broke the camel's back, or was it a cumulation of all of those things, you guys? And are you looking forward to another season of Vanderpump Rules? Let me know in the comments below, and as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.